Okay,
That's funny.
this meeting will be held in hybrid format with the option to attend either in person or remotely with your computer, tablet, or smartphone. All participants are asked to remain on mute unless speaking to ensure clarity of the audio for all attendees. Okay? To join online, it's https://meet.goto.com/Town of Sturbridge/Conservation Commission. You can dial in at 646-749-3122. Access code is 819-169-093. Okay, I will call this meeting to order with a roll call starting. Carsten
Stuber, present.
Nick Gravel, present.
San Germano present.
Ed Goodwin present.
Eric Aspar, present.
That, we will go to the walk-ins, and we have no walk-ins, and it is 6 o'clock. Anything from you, or you got anything?
Not at this moment, no.
Open the public hearing for,
Do we want to read the opening statement first?
yeah, why don't we do that? Got that here somewhere. I was reading about bugs, so.
You're reading about bugs.
Yeah,
Well, that's more interesting than this.
yeah.
A specific bug?
What?
A specific bug?
Yeah, the one that.
I know you like this.
In the interest of saving time, the Sturbridge Conservation Commission will hold all public hearings tonight for work within a wetland, water body, or resource area and/or within the 200-foot buffer zone to a wetland, water body, or resource area in accordance with Mass Wetland Protection Act, MGL, Chapter 131, Section 40, and associated regulations, and the Town of Sturbridge Wetland Bylaws and associated regulations. We will not be reading the newspaper ad. Prior to opening the first hearing for each project, the applicant is to submit proof of notification to abutters within 200 feet of the subject property line and proof of the legal newspaper advertisement. If these items are not submitted, the public hearing will not open. Additionally, prior to the start of each public hearing, we will announce the location of the project, the applicant, and the applicant's representative. If any of the visitors have not legibly signed in yet, please do so. Also, if any visitors are recording this meeting, please let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that doesn't look like he's on go-to.
Open the public hearing for
It's
the
on a
request
clock.
for determination for 314 The Trail. Owner is Nathan Jones. Applicant representative Gary Magnuson, CMG. SCC file number is 26-50. Proposed project removal of an underground heating tank. Oil tank, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Introduce yourself.
Good evening, Gary Magnuson, CMG Environmental. Thanks for hearing this situation. This house at 314 The Trail has we believe it to be a 1,000-gallon underground storage tank, which should be about 4 to 5 feet in diameter and about 8 to 10 feet in length, depending on which size tank it is or which dimension it is. We don't exactly know until we take it out. My understanding is the owner is selling the property, lives in California. A potential buyer had a concern or found out that there might have been a heating oil tank. So wanted the tank removed, reached out to us. We took a look. There is a heating oil tank there. Understanding is it hasn't been used in probably 20 years, and it was probably installed when the house was built. I don't have the exact year of the building of the house, but it's probably 40 years old, something like that. So it's about 85 feet. That line on the red line is about 85 feet from the water body. It's in a relatively flat area. 3 of the members were there on Tuesday with us to take a quick look at the site. It's a one-day project. I did not show silt fence, erosion control, or anything on there. Leave it up to you guys as to what you think is appropriate and tell me, and we'll obviously take care of that. Contingency, I don't expect there to be any contamination. If there is, we have notification requirements to Mass DEP. We will do that. We will give a courtesy notice to the commission, to Lauren. If there is contamination associated with that, DEP grants an emergency authorization for us to do what we need to do, so we don't need to come to you guys directly for that. We would deal with that right away, and then we'd come back to you for either a order of conditions after we did the work or when we did the work. As I said, I don't expect there to be any issues, but field screening instruments that we'll use in the field will determine whether or not we need to call DEP. I'd say 25% of them we have a problem, 75% we don't. So I don't expect a problem. And again, one day in and out, backfill, throw some seed and topsoil down, and we'll be out of the way. There'll be no residual waste left on the property. The tank will be removed that day. If there is contamination, and we did talk to DEP and we did get approval to dig contamination out, we would only dig out a small amount that day, something that we would stockpile in the driveway. If it's a major problem, the whole thing will get revisited, and we'll have emergency authorization. I'll tell you guys what our plan of action is. We might move quicker than we could get an order of conditions, but we'll at least give you the courtesy to tell you what we have to do. So that's the project. And I would request that you issue a negative determination so that we can move forward.
Anything?
Site's relatively flat. I don't have any concerns as far as impact to the resource area. There's other protocols that have to go in place, including pulling permits with the fire department. Through the conditions, I've pretty much covered everything. I think straw wattles are sufficient. While we were on site, we kind of talked about just around this bush area here. I wouldn't see a need to trench them, but I think that would be sufficient given the work. We talked about stockpiling of material and that if there is anything contaminated, that it wouldn't be saved on site. If there was anything that was found, obviously we'd be notified, and then at that point we could determine if it would be needed for an emergency order or a notice of intent. But let's hope that there isn't, because that would make everyone's life a little bit nicer. We did discover that there was a order of conditions that has expired. Right, it's expired on site for a driveway. So I think that's kind of what that flagging might have been for, but it has expired. We've reached out to the property owner. He's requesting a certificate of compliance for work never done. And if anyone wants to do that again, they'll have to do a new filing for that.
Eric?
I have nothing.
The question I have is that those, the stakes and for the driveway were new. They were not old. So were they working on it? Go ahead.
I have new information.
Great.
Would you like me to share it with you?
Yeah, I would love to have.
Property boundary, not an issue, but a confirmation. Those are survey stakes that indicate the property boundary. I believe there's a top and a bottom one, and then somebody put some kind of through the middle and put some survey tape on it. So I believe, don't have all the facts, that driveway that they have an order of conditions on may have partially been on the neighbors, and it never got built. So I'm going to reach out to the neighbor just to let them know that we're going to do this work, because we have to actually go on their property to get the machine to where we need to.
That's the reason
And
I
I'll make
brought
sure
it
that
up, yeah.
we're okay with that. Preliminary information is that shouldn't be an issue. Obviously, if it is, we'll come back to you, because it'd be hard to take out with a helicopter, but we'll figure out a way to do it if we have to.
Well, you could put a mini excavator in there and go down alongside of the house.
Right, but I can't fit it in between the vegetation that's currently there and her. We could make it work. We could take those
I
trees.
have her contact information. I can get it.
I'm going to reach out, and
Okay.
my understanding is, I think I'm a reasonable human being. I'm going to talk to them, see if they'll let us walk on their property to take this out. We're going to do all the work on 314, the Trails property, and then, I don't think it'll be an issue.
Okay,
It
great.
looks like cars have been parked there. I think that, I don't foresee it as being a big problem. But I did get some information as to that's the situation, is that property, new driveway would probably need to get moved, or get pushed back onto this site a little more. I guess that'd be to the north.
Yeah, okay. I just,
Just found that out about 2 hours ago.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's a known issue. They've worked well together in the past on it.
Oh, okay.
I
Great.
don't think it's going to be a problem for you.
Excellent.
all this optimism tonight.
I know. Had a rough week at
Jinx
work,
it.
so I'm trying to be optimistic here.
Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing.
Any discussion? Seeing none. Anybody in the audience like to speak to this issue? Not seeing none. All in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Ed Goodwin in favor?
Central in favor.
Nick Gravel in favor?
Council Stuba in favor.
Great.
With regards to the project at 314 The Trail, I'd like to make a motion to issue a negative determination pursuant to the Wetlands Protection Act and the Sturbridge Wetland Bylaw with the conditions as noted in the detailed agenda. Were you good with the conditions, Gary?
Yeah, yes, I didn't see anything that was problematic.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Ed Goodwin in favor?
Central in favor.
Nick Gravel in favor?
Council Stuba in favor.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Good. Thank you very much.
Have a good evening.
Take care. Continue the public hearing for the notice of intent for 51 Bennett's Road. Owner applicant is Liam Ferguson. Representative is Glenn Kravosky, TBT Environmental Consultants. DEP file number 300-12. Proposed project, construction of a 1,410 square foot garage and 325-foot concrete patio. Okay?
And Glenn, just so you know, the one that's on the website is not the one that you updated with the numbers, because I didn't have time to get that one up yet.
Thank you.
It does have the
But
trees.
that's the one you emailed us, right?
Correct.
All right, Glenn, go ahead.
Thank you. We had requested a continuance, but we did hear from Lauren that the commission wanted to discuss this briefly. It's not your issue here, but I'll be leaving at 6:30 because I have a ZBA in Oxford. So, on talking to Mr. Ferguson, who's in Boston, and talking to Joe Levesque, who called me on this matter, did state that there's, as far as behind the building, there's some question about having all the trees on the plan that would be altered, and Joe Levesque, which I'm going to go check this, said that he hung some red ribbons at the limit of excavation. So we want to see where that limit is. Apparently on the top, on the right, and on the bottom, there's these red ribbons, and anything outside that limit of excavation, he says will be staying. That was a phone call I had after I talked to Lauren again. And then on the matter of the patio, the concrete that was put in after Mr. Ferguson was told not to do any work, I think we maybe agreed that there is ledge directly underneath that, so there would be minimum infiltration. I did hear that there was some discussion through Lauren that potentially the commission is looking at, or at least members, to have that pervious patio, to take out the concrete, put pervious patio. The conversation with Joe Levesque after he talked to Mr. Ferguson, after I talked to Mr. Ferguson, was that they'd like to offer a reduction in the size of the building on the other side of the road to compensate for the impervious that was placed on the, using that concrete. I'd like time, as like a continuance after this discussion, to look out in the field, check the trees that are flagged, see where the red flagging is, where the limit of work is, have any additional trees located. And I only received this plan a couple of days ago, so I would, and then come up with a planting scheme for what's lost. There was some discussion also about the trail that's down by the steel container that goes onto Fish and Wildlife's property, and we'll investigate that, whether it was a neighbor or Mr. Ferguson who
I
did
actually looked
that.
into it too. It's on another abutting property.
What's that again?
It's on the other property. So it's on another person's property, so.
Okay, so it's not us then?
Yep.
Okay. In case there was any
Anyone.
more disturbance by this gentleman, apparently not. We wanted to make sure everything was covered on this notice of intent. Again, we did show that we're removing that steel structure, the box, and restoring the land underneath it and planting it, and the same with the pad, the driveway up in the front that's on somebody else's, that's being removed. We did describe that. We remove it and restore that, lumen seed it, and get
Where's
off.
that?
That would be yes, right there. It was brought up at the last meeting that in two locations work.
Is that off property?
Yes, it is. That's a property line, that straight line, that left to right. So it is off property. Somebody else's, we're removing it and restoring that area with loam. Removal and loam and seed. And this area was going to be loam, I believe, and also planting
Plantings.
on where the boxes, the rectangle.
Okay.
So I'd like to come back with a little bit more detail on the plan to offer you 7 days prior to the meeting, where this was not 7 days prior to, which you just received. And so then, and pick it up at the next meeting.
Joe did also call me as well this afternoon, and he also spoke with Liam. So the surveyor spoke with the property owner too. And they are going to discuss the proposition of significantly reducing the size of the garage to be and request to be allowed to keep the grill patio. So we'll see what they come back with, but that's a discussion that they would like to have.
That's all well and good, but we
My
haven't.
recommendation was, if you're reducing this, reduce it further away from the wetland would be preferable.
Yep, well, I mean, that's all well and good, but that's the art of negotiation. We haven't even decided to agree on the size of the barn.
Yeah, sure.
Eric?
Well, I mean, that pergola is considered a permanent structure. Is can we even move on this without having it? I'm sure it doesn't conform to setbacks as close as it is to the property line, or does it?
I can check with the zoning enforcement officer and see if there's any concern there.
Are you sure, are you saying it does?
No, I'm obviously just agreeing with, I'm agreeing with him that a structure, if it's a structure and it's ZBA, I mean, a planning board or a zoning setback, then that's a whole nother story.
I will ask.
It says here in the, the right one, yes, that it doesn't meet the setback. Next is the allowed by zoning bylaw. The coverage will exceed
I missed
the
that.
one allowed by the zoning bylaw.
The new structure wouldn't meet the setbacks.
Oh, right, yeah.
That one.
Who is saying that, ma'am?
Because a special permit's required for the garage planning.
Oh, the.
And they are aware that they have to go to planning as well. It was recommended to get through conservation first before going to planning.
If I could. The red lines are the setback, so so we can see now that where he's not meeting setback.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great. I wondered what that was.
Yes.
Good.
Well, only because you brought it up, and I'm.
Carson, anything? All right, I'm going to be the...
Well, I did have one more thing. I'll go after you.
Oh, my God, another thing?
Well, I was just going to. I haven't seen the front of this property, or the lakeside of this property. So, and I know
All
it's
tree, and then it just drops.
Very steep.
okay, but like, is there? This is just my ask. Is there anything that can be done on the lakeside as a mitigation that we can discuss as part of that pergola? Like, I don't even know if it can stay for various other boards that don't concern us, but I'd be interested in what your proposal would be for a mitigation effort on the lakeside, if it's even possible, to provide us a little bit more canopy and protection and habitat long term. That was all I had. Sorry, Ed.
No problem.
When I'm looking at the back of the structure, the proposed garage, we did go in the front, but not looking for those mitigations. We'll look for the mitigation. When I'm there this week, we'll look, coming up with the next few days. Thank you.
I'm going to be the bad guy a little bit, because I've put up with this for a while now. And what you say you're going, I'm referring to you as the engineer.
Yes, sir.
What you say you're going to do doesn't get done, and other things do get done. So I'm wondering why we would even consider approving a new plan for 51 Bennett's. I went out today to look at the trees that you had said were going to be marked. You told me they were going to be marked, and they weren't.
I told the surveyor to mark them, and what he did, I don't go back to the site all the time. When I tell a surveyor to do something.
I'm not,
Okay, I got it.
you know, I would really like to see this if it's gonna come forward. First of all, you can take that container right off now, right? Is there
Yes,
anything
sure.
Is there anything keeping you from taking that container
You
off
tell
of-
us, I'll
of the-
tell him.
Of the land, which, is not, partially not theirs.
Yes.
They're on, you know.
Yep.
They're on state land,
Yep.
you know.
Mhm.
To come back to me with a plan on removing that container is,
ASAP.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, I mean,
Right.
so I really would like, and first, and if we're gonna go down 8 feet, into 8 feet of ledge, right?
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna have to do it from above, right?
Moving from.
Moving, yeah.
from into it,
Right.
yes.
And so you're going to need to give us the area that you're going to destroy.
We have that.
Area and volume, you asked for it, and.
I know you gave us the volume. Now, is that the volume as it exists or the volume that it will be when it comes out?
You mean the fluff?
Yeah,
We'll ask them if that's,
Proposed garage excavation,
yeah.
because what is it,
590.
what is it, like 1.5? What's the number you
Once
use?
it's fluffed up.
What? Yeah.
Once it's fluffed up.
Yeah.
Got it?
So, not that I'm just.
Yeah.
I didn't get, we walked on the site and I didn't get the feeling that they were looking for anything but an approval. And once they had the approval, they were going to do what they wanted to do. That's what the feeling I got.
I heard that statement that came from you, and all we can say is enforcement order, fines, limit of work, erosion control barriers, limit of work, and that they're identified in the field by the surveyor, stake it out, and a signature, which we just did in another town, to say that that is the limit of work shown on the plan.
Right.
And then the erosion controls are placed there, verifying that limit of work erosion control. This is another town that's requiring that now. That the surveyor actually says the mitigating measures or the erosion controls are the limit of work. And then we have to keep to that, and if there's any variation outside that, well, and maybe you require a monitor, just like a wetland replication monitor or somebody to make sure it's done exactly. Otherwise, there's fines involved if he exceeds that, and that is always your option, but we can have a monitor there.
Could that be managed, Ed, through
It's a
plan sequencing?
Yeah,
Right.
but it's a
We've done
constrained area.
conditions where the erosion control barrier has been the limit of work and that we've had to have a surveyor go confirm that the erosion controls are where they're supposed to be. We had discussed with Ed this morning and also on the phone with Glenn earlier today that beyond that, I would also require that the corners of the garage be staked prior to foundation being removed, because once the ledge is gone, or once the foundation's in, it's a lot harder to put that back. So if we did get to a point of approval, I would recommend that as a condition. But I think we would
that's
discuss
good,
that
yeah.
December.
Corners staked after the ledge is removed. Yes.
Sounds good. That's all I got. And I really don't think that the amount of money that we're going to set aside to make sure that we can correct the situation is adequate.
Yes, sir. Corners staked after. Got it.
I'm glad you're on it.
Thank you.
Do you think December would be enough time?
Yes,
The 11th?
12/11.
Yeah.
Well, really, though.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I would go to the next meeting after that.
I'm all set with that.
I mean, the only reason I bring it
Yeah,
up
it's
is
a good
because
point.
we need to have everything in-house
And we'll have
7
to go
days.
back out.
on
7
the
days
4th,
earlier. Yeah.
and we have a holiday in the middle of that, so.
The next meeting after that would be January 22nd,
Thank you.
no
which
works.
they're not going to do it in
No works
December anyway.
getting work.
No, nothing would happen this winter, so thank you again.
Yeah.
Okay. That should be plenty of time and time for another site visit.
Thank you.
What else? Anything else?
I'm here for one more thing.
Oh, I mean.
on this, no, no, we're gonna look at the mitigation, I wrote everything being said, we'll talk to the surveyors, we'll be out in the site, we'll look at the lakeside, we'll look behind the building, we'll look at the limit of work, we'll have more conditions placed on the plan about staking after removal, everything said here will also be on the plan.
Great. Anybody have any
I'm good. Anything? You, sir?
continuation?
I'm fine. In regards to the project at 51 Bennett Road, I'd like to make a motion to continue the public hearing until January 26th?
22nd.
22nd.
26.
Second.
All in favor?
Eric Caspar in favor?
Ed Goodwin in favor?
St. Germain in favor.
Frank Gravel in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
Great.
Gwen, can you do this in 5 minutes?
Thank you for giving me your time, not me giving you mine.
Can I get you out of here?
Thank you.
Okay, now we are at, continue the hearing for the notice of intent for 21 Long Avenue. Owner applicant is Stanley and
Iwanicki.
Iowicki.
He's got it.
I know.
I'm working on it.
I know you are.
The more you talk, the less.
Get out of here, get out of here, okay.
Representative Glenn Kravosky, EBT Environmental, DEP file number 300-1250. Proposed project is to raise a 545 square foot family home and construct a 792 square foot family home.
Thank you again for your time, I appreciate it. And Mr. Iwanicki, as you know, Glenn Kowalski, EBT Environmental. The plan has gone through multiple renditions since we've last seen each other with Ed Chapdelaine. And looking at the plan, I have a copy in the car, I apologize. They were delivered to you, Mr. Iwanicki, I believe you delivered these copies, so. And we did talk briefly with Lauren on the detailed agenda, what it might be on, I think some issues were, we got rid of the asphalt in the front,
Okay,
like the pervious pavers. Can we work from front to back?
Yeah,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead. You got a,
Pointer.
right there.
Oh, the new ones.
Yeah,
All right.
we don't let
Oh, I don't
everybody.
think I turned them on. I think the side
Is that
button
a
has to be
top
turned
button,
on.
maybe?
There's a switch on the side.
On the side.
Oh, on the side, we got all kinds of,
Sorry.
I see, no, it's fine.
This
The
one,
front, are you meaning
Got it.
roadside or
I
lakeside?
have it.
Roadside.
This side going this way?
Yeah.
So, I will say one thing, and I told my office this also. Obviously, we're not going to leave, I would say that this dirt patch here, but that can be another question. It is the town, is this a private road or town road?
Private.
Thank you. So there was all this question about saw cutting this off, and then this was the pervious paver because we only work on our property. Oh, my God. Shut phone off. Sorry about that, sirs, ma'am. So, again, so this is the pervious paver, there's a detail that we have on it. It is the maintenance Willow Creek permeable paver with a detail of the makeup, which is not on that plan, but you do have one of the matrix and how it's built and how the maintenance, the same as we did on Big Alum for Litchfield at the northern end of the lake. A similar driveway, that was a steep driveway, this is generally level. The grade, to remove the stump, I think that was already in there. The well, Mr. Iwanicki, if I go through the chairman, and as we go along, because you've worked a lot with Ed on this matter, there was pulling back of so most of this is all that replacement. And I'm going to keep going this way, but there are plantings that Mr. Iwanicki can describe. We did cut the deck off, correct, sir?
Yep.
In order to stay out of the 25-foot zone. The house was moved back 3 feet. And as we move towards the lake, DEP's questions, there were questions about having erosion controls in the floodplain. We moved the erosion controls out of the floodplain. There was no reason to have a potential siltation, not that we're expecting it, go down through and then enter into the floodplain. Mean annual high water, GIS, again, originally, I believe we had the erosion controls down in here. And this plan, entrenched silt fence. There it is now, running and not further down into that floodplain. If I ask Mr. Iwanicki, please, for the chairman, the trees, you want to show where you identified new?
Push that one?
Just push.
Okay. Well, this is this tree here. Let's see, where do I go? This one, the pine, over here. The pine, and over here. And then you wanted three plantings, and again, the only place I could figure out to put them is one here, and one here. Two bushes, for lack of a better,
Yep.
okay, here and here. And I'd also like to put a 5-foot landscaping bed in front of the house, 5 or 3, I don't know exactly what we can fit in there, but that would be what we would do for the plantings. And we also put on either side the
The DEP had the question, there was, we did say this to Jay Dubois, who did the deep hole, and he had that infiltration, the Cultec up in the front, DEP. No more, if you see it all, no infiltration within 50 feet of a wetland. We just saw stuff in Western Region where they didn't call it out, this is in Brimfield and such, but Central Mass is making a point, stormwater, there is to be no infiltration within 50 feet, it's the reg. So that was pulled out. We did use a drip strip along the house to catch, and that's called energy dissipating drip strip, so there won't be a gutter, but it will drip into that, and there's a detail on it, so it still does have some infiltration characteristics for the roof runoff into the ground, and you've seen other drip strips that we've proposed. I think we also, this pea and gravel and loam area that was a question.
Yeah, on this side here, and on the other side down where the grinder is, I'd like to, like I say, either loam it or here and here on either side of the pavers.
Well, we would make a decision, pea gravel
Or loam.
Or loam and
Seed.
seed, either way. There is a little bit more infiltration with pea, but then it's not green, and I think we beg to the commission on what they would prefer to see, whether that's a grassed area. We also will take a condition, and we see it now quite often, about zero phosphate and pesticides, and to actually put it on as a perpetual condition on the
It's on
property.
our, it's on our order of conditions.
Okay,
we-
thank you
yeah, we
again.
think-
It's a standard order conditions, thank you again. So, Mr. Iwanicki, we can get into, if you don't mind, through the chairman, the original square footage, it's not directly in front of me, and what we've bumped it up to. I do have it in the language. I don't know if you have it off the top, sir.
No, I don't.
I have it right here.
500 and...
Thank you, I have it.
or something?
581 to 782.
There we go. It's, yeah.
But the new deck, by what I've read, if the deck isn't there, it doesn't count. So the 10-foot new deck is in addition to the square footage of the, that you're looking for.
Okay.
That I didn't know.
Yeah. So that's considerable. And it's a new structure inside the 50.
10 by 15.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, well, 10 by 22 is what it would have been, but we cut off the corner there.
Yeah.
Make it within the
Within the
50 foot,
25.
25.
Yeah, but it should,
Should be included in your square footage, I heard what you said.
so that's, anybody have any comments?
Just about the trees, did I understand correctly?
Yeah.
There are like 3 trees in the frontage of the lake that
Yeah,
are
the-
being
The
removed?
those tall pines that
Pines,
are
yes, one
lollipop
there.
pines there.
One there and one there.
The-
Is there any reason why those have like to be removed? That are like
Well, it's
damaged? or-
basically the safety. They're 100-foot pines, and again, I just, you know, it's,
Yes, I wasn't able to go, okay.
I don't have a
sorry?
I don't have a problem with you guys removing them. I wouldn't like to have them near my house either. But I'm just wondering why couldn't you plant the trees closer to the lake?
Not
Well,
Where are you
I
removing
mean,
the
so
tree
the,
up on the
to
right side?
get a little more shade
See
there.
that
and
removed
stuff.
tree up there?
yeah, no, I understand that, yeah, the one, I probably would have, I'm guessing, room to, the one closer to the lake, if that would be, if that's what you'd want, I
Let me see
don't,
this. Let me go. Thank you, keep going.
I don't see a problem with doing that. I'm just curious, I'm curious
It's
to
shade
know.
for the lake. If
No,
I could
yeah,
say-
go ahead.
Go on. It's shade for the lake is what the commission, I believe, is looking for. We did look at the lake as far as the shading issue. It, yes, it is, don't quote me, what do you have there? 160 or 180 acres, whatever it might, 14 feet deep, 7-foot high, plus or minus dam. The shade, again, I understand the shade. This, the Fish and Wildlife does not stock this because it is a warm water pond. It is, without the dam, it would be 7 feet deep possibly, but again, we looked into Fish and Wildlife and reasons why they don't stock. Your other deep lakes, your glacial lakes, much deeper, cold water bottom, that's a
This is
reason
not
why
a
they're
rel-
stocked.
This is an irrelevant argument.
Well, it's still a heating of the water, I think, is part of the issue.
So.
It's a
so
warm
you
water
wa-
pond.
You want to let this one go, huh?
No, I'm saying there's two different type of lakes you have in any town. You have cold water lakes.
Glenn,
and
can you
glacial.
remind us what kind of tree this is here? I just want to make sure with the shade,
one? Is that a-
the shade coverage
Right
of
here,
this
right
tree,
here,
yeah, the one
yeah.
that's remaining. I just want to make sure that he would have adequate room
No,
to,
that's the maple.
that's the maple that's
yes,
here that's
yes,
staying? Okay.
correct.
I just would want to make sure that anything that you're planting over here, that it would not be limited in its growth because of the shade of this tree.
We have, if we say that's 10 feet right here, so we can see the distance over maybe 12 or 13. I mean, that generally wouldn't be too much of a problem with shade.
I would also recommend keeping it out of the floodplain.
Yeah, I think keeping the trees where they are is, 'cause it's, I think you'd have more disturbance the closer you get down anyway to the water.
We wouldn't take the roots out.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if you were gonna plant something down
Yeah.
closer to the water at the same time, I think that,
I think maybe something over here, maybe,
because if you don't take the roots out, it's going.
because you'd want it out of the floodplain,
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
but
Can't put anything here.
that's in the
Actually, I'm
floodplain.
going to be the.
We wouldn't want it in
dissenter.
this area
I
here.
see no threat from those trees, and I see no reason to go into the 25-foot, period. And if you want to go into it, you're going to need a waiver, and I'm hoping that this committee will.
Still a waiver for the retaining wall and the stairs.
That's,
This is still in the 25.
yeah.
So when you say like going into the 25
Yeah,
because of the stairs and the wall?
no, they're cutting down the trees inside the 25.
What about the two that are in the wall?
The one that's in the wall,
Two, this one
Just
here
on-
and this
yeah,
one
Just on the
here.
outside of the
I don't
wall.
remember the one on the right, but the one on the left was outside of the 25-foot.
Nope, these are both in the 25. This one here and this one here that are currently in the wall are both in the 25.
Yeah,
the 25 is right here.
oh, it is.
Yep.
Why did I think that,
So,
Nick, when we were down there, we were at that tree.
Yeah, so the one they're keeping was that, I think an oak, wasn't it, right there? One on the left.
Yeah, there's another one, yeah, there's the one that's down by the water, and there's another one up.
Yeah, and when we were,
Yeah, do you want to throw up the pictures?
That's what I'm doing.
I got it wrong. I gotta go.
No. Okay.
I just don't know if it's a good
Well,
site
like
to
this, then.
plant down over. That's the only thing I'm thinking for the health of the tree going.
I don't know, I'm not a tree with the water, I mean, I don't know how high the water would be
The
down.
lake, we're looking for shade.
No, and I'm saying the same thing. I'm just saying, like, if he's taking them out and where he's planting them now seems good. You do have a good tree down there that is, I almost feel like the tree that's down there already is gonna have enough time to, quicker than anything he plants down there, kind of
Red
shade
maple.
out, yeah, we'll shade out that area pretty good. You know what I mean? Like in the next
Yeah, that's
20,
true.
25 years. So I feel like if he moves stuff up closer to the house where he's got it already, I don't think that's a bad idea. I'm just thinking, you know, and if he does some smaller stuff down there, I don't think, my point is, I don't think he's gonna have, I don't think it's gonna make it quick enough to do any good shade for the lake. You know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't make it, and he plants it, then it's just another disturbance down by the lake.
One or two of the lines and get the deck and have your house
That makes
built,
sense.
Because I'm not sure you're gonna get enough vote, but then again,
All right,
it's only
any
one vote.
comments, Eric?
Well, so, you know me and precedents. I have some concerns over the definition of what can be done to that wall inside of 25 foot. Obviously, we allow for repairs, but are we opening ourselves up to an issue to allow the addition of the stairs in there? And I understand why he wants them, but I'm just I'm concerned about that being inconsistent with other rulings that we made, number one. Number two, I agree with you with the new deck. We're heading forward towards the lake instead of backwards. I mean, I appreciate all salesmanship. That's what I do for a living. So, the salesmanship of we're going from 33 to 37 is helpful. But the reality is we're going to 25, so we're going forward. So we need to do something to address that as well, at least in my head, to try to figure out what the alternative would be. So I think we've made some progress here, but I don't know that we've come as far as where we could necessarily get comfortable with saying yes at this point. And I think there's some additional accommodations that might, if we think outside the box, if Lauren, are there some things that you can think of?
Well, I have a question for the applicant. If you can remind me how big the existing deck is there?
Well, the deck, it was on the side, it's 8 by 8. It was on
Okay.
the side of the house.
There's,
Nothing in the front.
is that the one that was built in 2018?
Yes, it wasn't there, when I came in
Okay.
with you then, yeah.
So that's the one on the side?
Yeah, it would be, right.
Okay, because I was just trying to see
Yeah.
which one was approved back in 2018.
And
As far as the wall,
What,
for, I think that we could put a condition that we approve the repair of the wall if it turns out that as they go to repair it, that it needs a full replacement, that they would have to come back for an amendment.
Well, that's
The
fine, but we're
stairs,
still
I
adding
think
the
of,
steps.
I think of safety, of going around, of who the property is being designed for, who's going to be residing on it, and being able to walk safely versus this was pretty steep walking down. And, to be respectful of the property owner, obviously we want to make sure that you and your, spouse are able to safely walk down to that area versus going on a steep area. And we have recently allowed stairs going into the water off of an existing retaining wall, so it's not too big of a
Where do we do that?
change. There's been, there was a couple on Big Alum,
We did one off of Big
and
Alum.
they were on the shore,
There was
and one
mitigation that
up.
we took as offset
Yep.
to that, so I guess,
So I'm wondering if maybe we could work at trying to find some way to reduce the size of the deck.
Or the total overall size of, it doesn't have to be the deck. It
Well,
can be
the
the
house
house.
is,
it's tiny as it is already, yeah.
This is already quite.
7
Oh,
and a half,
yeah,
800
I
square
didn't
feet.
buy it.
Well, I understand, sir, I understand.
Yeah. Grandfathering
but the deck is
allows
what's closer to the
grandfathering.
lake.
Yeah, in the lake.
I understand.
It does not allow grandfathering plus.
So the house was 3 feet
Further away.
for the,
The house is moving back,
well, the house moving, was there a deck?
but the deck is going
Was there a
closer.
deck at the old house?
No, the deck was on the side.
The deck wasn't there.
The deck wasn't there. The deck was on the side. If you're looking at this on the right-hand side towards the back of the house, that's where the deck was, the 8 by 8 that we built.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you remind me,
Oh.
is a raised deck? Is it like the deck on the ground?
Well, it's good, what we're planning on doing is putting a walkout basement, so it would be on the first floor, basically. And with the wall, again, we're not planning on deconstructing and reconstructing the wall. I want to, it's stone as it is right now, as you saw, I want to try to level it off, basically, to leave it kind of the way it is, but I don't know if repair is the right word, or.
It is.
And then the stairs, I didn't want them to go beyond the wall if possible. I wanted to come this way towards the back of the house to go down, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, right,
You have
that
to
they
work with
be
the existing
extended more in
grades.
here
I'm
and
sorry?
not
But
But
extended
you have to
out.
work with the grades that are there.
Yes, no, I understand, I understand.
Is there
But
going to be a,
Grades
that's,
can be cut.
yeah,
there's going to be a walkout cellar, right?
that's the plan, yeah, because it does
Then
go
in
down.
2 years, if you want to come back and cover the deck with, put a room on it, right?
Well,
Which, how many, I've seen it about only
I'm sure
10,000
you have,
times.
I'm not gonna,
And Eric would
That's-
say, yes, that's fine, because that doesn't set any precedent. It just makes the goddamn thing bigger. Excuse my language, Eric.
I would try to look at.
I accept all language.
I would look
Ed.
at possibly
It's fine.
7 foot or 8.
So it's a walkout,
These people.
it's got an under and it can have an over. As soon as you let them do it.
I mean,
Expanded the, further expansion of the house, which is small. I don't argue that
understand.
point. But
Ideally, what side of where would the door be from your main level to go out to the deck?
right in
that
the
was
middle.
planning to be exactly right in the middle, because again, the kitchen is gonna be on the stair side here, so we wanna put a table on that side so there would be windows there, and then the door would be in the middle of the house, so that we'd be able to put a kitchen table there.
I'm wondering if you can,
I'd cut that deck.
if there's room to maybe,
Make a smaller deck like
Yes.
that?
yeah.
You should think of it.
Well,
That,
I mean, if you,
that might
if you
work,
could, if you,
right where that corner is?
yeah. That works.
7 feet.
So right that corner is where the 15, make it 15 by 10? Because on this side where the stairs is, again, I want to bring up, I want to put a door where we can walk into the cellar so we can have like a, put stuff, you know what I'm saying? So cutting the deck,
like every house on the lake.
well, no, we'd have a door, but there'd be a separate door on the side, so it'd be like a cellar, we can put stuff.
So if it goes from this, then this,
that.
yeah.
You can add a perpetual condition that the deck
Can't be
Can't
covered.
be
can't be
covered.
covered.
Yeah, but in 20 years, I'm going to be the only one on the commission.
There you go.
Everybody else is going to have left.
But
God
the
bless you,
perpetual
20 years.
condition on the order of, on the order conditions that lives.
No, I think we need a compromise here. I think they need to go back and look at the plan.
So here, but
We heard
but this could
we heard
become,
their-
I mean, if they
Yeah,
want
I
some,
would
they have to have some deck, right? So, I mean, a 3-foot deck wouldn't make any sense, right? That doesn't seem to be much of a
6
deck.
feet.
I mean, there
So
there
the
are
other deck
projects
can
on
cut
the
it
lake
this
that
way.
you did require a 3 by 5 foot deck instead
Yeah.
of a deck that went the full length of the house.
We have,
There was, you have approved that as part of a,
So
negotiation.
you have the deck
3
here,
feet back. If you had 3 more, then you're
we
6
we
out,
have
6 or
a
7.
bylaw that
That's a
says
lot of.
no new
7
build within the 50 feet.
So don't say it now.
No new build. The house does not constitute new build, but the deck does.
but we always have the option to waive it.
Right. Yeah, the only problem with that option is we don't seem to use any other option but the option. Everything gets bigger and closer. And like you guys have all admitted, that lake is getting warm.
It is warm.
I'm getting it.
It's a warm water lake. That's why it has algae blooms more than any other one. And also it has
So
mass
would-
piped
would-
up in it.
would-
When it's
would an
shallow,
8 foot- would an
it's
8
only 14 feet
8 foot-
deep, and that's the deepest part of the lake. That's shallow.
We know.
Any possibilities of moving
Would you like a
everything?
continuation?
I would like a continuation to absorb everything that all the members said,
Come back
work with the
at it.
client, come in with, we're not building this winter, but we want to be back in front of you very quickly.
Well, do the
Can
January.
I ask this a question? I mean, I might be
Say it.
killing myself or whatever. The continuations, is there any agreement? Because the only thing I think that might be, that I'm thinking at right now, that might be what we need to do is with the deck, or is there any other?
And the trees?
You've
And the
heard,
trees.
you have to, unfortunately.
Sure.
But you can do it, I can tell. You gotta absorb what has been said here.
Yes.
And come back to us.
We got it written down.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
So again, if I-
we can't make
So can you move the house one more?
The house, like,
Could you move
Well,
the
I'm
house?
right up to the
He's
30
right-
foot from the street, that's why we pushed it up to
He's
the
in the
30 feet
setback.
setback.
Example of what is resentful from my point of view.
I'm sorry.
Is that you can't go and get a variance to move it 20 feet from the street, but you can move it into the lake.
Again, I'm only going by what.
I'm just giving, yeah.
I'm just going by what I was told to
Other
do.
boards.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
just, but my question is with the deck, I mean, I can come back with a different size of the deck. Do you have any idea, I mean, can we go 8?
Move the house back? Back?
like, that would be like the
If you,
best.
if you move the house back a little bit and reduce the size of the, or you
Can't move the house
that?
back
Move it
anymore.
back, yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
We can ask Gene Bourbon and see how often that the variance has been granted. We've done that in other towns, but
Yeah.
we can
The
ask,
house
we can
next
ask the
door is
question.
not like
Yeah.
closer.
Okay.
Okay.
If you did a 2-2-2, you know, you'd be 6 feet further away from the lake.
Yeah.
If, you know,
I got it.
if you got the town to give you 2 feet and you took 2 feet of your own and then took 2 feet off the
We're gonna,
deck, you'd be, you know,
almost where we were.
almost, yeah.
What is the bylaw, or how far it has to be from the lake?
Stanley,
From the
From the, sorry, from the street?
street.
shoot
has to
me
be
an
30
email and
feet.
we can set up a meeting to sit down with Gene together.
Yes.
Thank you. Great deal.
You're not building this winter.
Are we talking January 11th, or are we talking December?
Just bear with
I
him.
mean, January 22nd or
Bear
December
with him
11th,
until
sorry.
we're
January
I-
22nd.
Why can't we do December?
almost.
Well, I don't,
Yeah, they're gonna-
I'll see you later.
You want December or January?
Thank you very much.
well, hold on. Glenn, Stan, do you want January or December? January 22nd or December
That
11th?
last one was 122, right? That was 2 meetings from now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah, okay, great.
Okay?
It's technically a long, it's a long break.
Because you're going to have the plan revised in 7 days.
Gonna do this
You're not going to get it revised in
fine.
7 days. I'm just saying.
Yep, you got it.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion to continue the public hearing until January 22nd.
Thank you.
Okay,
Sorry, Stan.
No, it just, every time it just, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? That's why,
I hear ya.
That's why I just wanted to ask if there was any way we could
No, I-
come up with something
it's a
kind of
legitimate
close, so we can keep going back and forth, you know?
I don't remember if Gene is here.
What would we agree to?
I don't remember if Jean is here
And we
tomorrow or
can't do
not.
that.
If she is, I'll ask and see what her, I know
You can't,
her schedule's getting kind of
um,
crazy and next week's a short week.
Okay.
But I'll see what time I can find for
Can't
the
you make
three of us to sit down.
recommendations, not promises?
Yeah.
Well, we
Like
gave
the
them
time?
recommendations, so we gave them a feel for what, you know.
Yep, and then we're hoping to recruit you and you move back here full time, so.
We'll get there. We'll work, we'll back it out, right?
Join us.
Got a chair for you.
Yeah, really, got an extra chair.
Yeah.
All right, have a great day. Have a
too.
happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
You too.
thanks.
We didn't finish the vote.
Did we
Finish the vote.
No, we didn't. Did we vote? Let's
No,
vote.
I made the motion. You seconded it.
seconded.
All right, well, Eric Gaspar in favor.
Ed Goodwin in favor.
Saint Germain in favor.
Nick Gravel in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
Thank you for keeping us straight.
Yeah. All right, now we're at number 4, which is a request for a certificate of compliance.
This is 60 Cedar Street, the ADA rec project. I have no issues with it. They had some hiccups with the playground, but it all looks great. The town's now gonna be responsible for the stormwater maintenance and everything that goes with it. We have the updated operation and maintenance plan.
Yeah,
Site's
but-
stable.
So
and
you
it
wanna look
survived the
at it?
summer. Yep. Couple times, I mean, I'm out there
I
all the
know.
time.
Yeah.
So,
Take the kids.
yeah,
The playground looks great.
Yeah,
So,
it does.
thank you.
good.
I mean, the gravel walking out would not have been my choice because it's not great to walk on. But as far as, you know, keeping everything back now, hopefully we can work on some improvements on the other side of the beach as far as what's getting into the lake on that end.
All right, with regards to DEP file number 300-1206, I'd like to make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance with special condition number 60.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Ed Goodwin in favor?
Saint Germain in favor.
Nick Gravel in favor?
Carsten Stuber in favor.
Request for certificate of compliance, 344 Lead Mine Lane, DEP file number 300-1219.
So this was the septic replacement next to 346. It was a flip. When the property just sold, so AJ Service Inc. that owned the property just sold it to the new property owner. They didn't do a lot of what they were supposed to, including the pre-construction meeting, including putting up the $1,000 surety. They removed, I think, 2 trees. When they said they were going to remove 1, didn't do the mitigation, so they're requesting a partial because they hadn't done the mitigation. I had some questions on the septic, so I had Ken, our Board of Health agent, go take a look at it. He happened to be there when the new homeowner was there. She had no idea there was an order of conditions on the property. And what she had to do, she said she wanted to pull the silt fence out because she didn't even know it was there, that she wanted to go and clear cut some things and move in. So this was just a bad communication process altogether. And unfortunately, the order of conditions follows with the property owner, not the property owner. So I'd like to kind of take some time to work with her, and maybe if she's doing some landscaping opportunities, we can maybe go forward with an amendment. The septic's been replaced and it's to code, so that's good, but I would actually like to recommend denying the request for a partial order of conditions.
All right. Eric, would you like to make?
Just a question. Do we have no recourse for them going ahead and doing a project without following the order of conditions and supplying I
Not under
it's
the
a little
person,
bit-
it's under the property, so we can revoke the permit, we can do an enforcement order. I just don't feel, if it was still under the same ownership, I would absolutely go that course of action. But I'd rather take this opportunity to try and work with the new property owner, because it's very unfortunate, because even the buying agent called me at one point and asked about the order of conditions on this property. So I knew that the buyer's agent knew about this, and she did not even disclose that to her client that bought it. So I'm just really disappointed in the system, and I don't want to penalize the new property owner for that.
Welcome to Sturbridge. And
yeah.
I agree with you, but I think
That's
we
not
need-
welcome to Sturbridge, that's welcome to the world.
As far as the,
I mean, as long as the
the board of
septic is
Sturbridge.
performing to code, we do need to figure some stuff out.
mitigation wasn't done, and so I want to work with her and see what she wanted to do to improve the backyard anyway, and maybe we can just kind of move forward with a landscaping plan or an amendment, and
Can we just table this? and you
Denial,
talk?
we don't have.
All right, we don't need to deny it. Do we just take no action?
we have to take action.
Oh, well then,
Can
with
we
regards,
just table it?
Why do we have to take action?
Wetland Protection Act requires that a decision be issued within 21 days of receiving a request for certificate of
Oh, so they
compliance.
submitted
So-
a request, huh?
So who made
The
the,
old owner
That's
submitted the request.
The old owner did?
AJ Service Inc. submitted the request for a partial order or partial
but the
certificate of
partial
compliance.
order was for the septic,
Correct.
and that work has been done.
That work has been done, the mitigation has not been, but I wouldn't recommend closing it.
So the mitigation for the septic has not been done.
Correct. They had to remove trees for the septic.
Okay, okay. So then, yeah.
Does that violate Title V?
So the partial, but
Not
this,
replacing trees, no, because
No, I mean, I'm saying that it's not
closed for,
completed replacement, septic replacement.
no, they did the septic work.
yeah, so then it's partial, right?
Not, okay, we're talking about Title V, they're good. Ken inspected it, they're fine, it has the Title V inspection. As far as conservation goes, the septic was done, the mitigation for doing the septic, the tree removal that they had to do was not done.
And so why does he request only a partial certificate? rather-
Because it was taking them off the hook for the closing out the septic, but then basically leaving on the mitigation for the planting. And I wouldn't recommend that.
It's-
I wouldn't recommend that for any project. If the planting was done, but we had to wait the 2 growing seasons to ensure survival, and they were, looking for like a surety release, then yes, I would, probably say I'd recommend it. but seeing how the planting wasn't even done and the new homeowner is responsible for it and they didn't even know about it, it's,
Okay.
yeah.
Come on, Eric, you're holding us up.
Sorry. I just wanted to make sure, with
Yeah,
regards
I agree.
to the project at 344 Lead Mine Lane, DP file number 300-1219, I'd like to make a motion to deny the issuance of a certificate of compliance, a partial certificate of compliance.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Ed Goodwin in favor.
Sandra Mann in favor.
Carsten Stuber in favor.
Request for a certificate of compliance for 548 Haynes Street, SEC file number 21-92, single-family home. Site visit November 5th. Go ahead.
So this is that project we just issued in order conditions for the pool and the pergola and all of that, and I had recommended certificate of compliance to close out under the bylaw. All those orders of conditions are still relevant under the new OOC, so it's just easier for us to just track the one instead of the two, so.
With regards to SEC file number 21-92, I'd like to make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Ed Goodwin in favor.
Sandra Mann in favor.
Carsten Stuber in favor.
Request for a certificate of compliance, 320 The Trail, DEP file number 300-1218, cantilever dock.
So this was a cantilever dock that was actually replaced last spring, and one of the ones that we required some mitigation plantings on the bank. Everything survived the 2 growing seasons and no additional disturbance. It's actually the one that was right next door to 314. Everything looked great, so I recommend issuing a certificate of compliance.
With regards to DEP file number 300-1218, I'd like to make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance with the special conditions, perpetual special conditions of 44 through 46.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Eric Gaspar in favor?
Ed Goodwin in favor.
Sandra Mann in
You
favor.
need to say release of 34 High
Carsten
Street.
Stuber in favor.
It's implied in there.
And request for a certificate of compliance, 228, 234, 236, Route 15, and 10 Mashpog Road, DP file number 300-1014.
So this is the Apple Blossoms, right? That's what it's called? The gas station on Haynes. That's what it's
Apple
called,
Green.
right? Apple Greens, is that what it is? So I spoke with the engineer. They had actually requested a certificate of compliance back in 2020, but the replication required a 5-year monitoring. So that has been complete. Now I've been trying to go back, and it looked like everything was good at the time. There were some minor deviations, but the commission had accepted them because it ended up working with the grading, but I'm still piecing everything together. The as-built plan that they provided was the one from 2020, and I did request that the replication area be clearly marked as separate from the wetland, so that way it can be clear, and we can also verify the square footage, that it was replaced in the right size. So I spoke with the engineer today, and he was trying to get some other touches on the plan and also get maintenance logs of the stormwater that was on there, because they're supposed to be taking care of those. Still working on updating those, and he's going to talk to Paul McManus from Ecotech about the restoration. So the applicant did also agree that we table this another meeting, so that way they can kind of get everything else together and make sure that it's all good. But I did also want to have a conversation for anyone that was here between that 2018 and 2020 time period when this was going through, that if there's anything else that I'm not finding that really stood out that they remember that I need to follow up on. I've been going through the file and the emails and everything else, and it looked good, but obviously I'm filling in puzzle pieces,
The
so.
only thing that jumps out at me, Ed, is remember there was some issue towards the back of the property on Mashpog, the drainage there?
Yeah. They took care of
And
that.
they did take care of it, but
Yeah.
is it holding up?
I like the name Roy Rogers, too. I would have kept that.
But, no, I mean, every time I've driven by there, seemed to do a nice job keeping that place clean.
Okay. So in that case, the applicant has also agreed that we can table this until December 11th.
Okay, so we don't need to take action then.
Correct.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, review response from Slack. Correspondence dated October 30th.
So I was just kind of putting together something more formal to submit and just to have everyone look it over and make sure I didn't miss anything, kind of just going into what we had discussed overall of give us more specific information, understand that you're asking for these things that require a lot of resources from the department, like training and case studies and things like that but is it, specific topics? And then also kind of going into that we would like for them to look at the calendar going into next year to find a day that we can do a joint meeting. As I was looking into it, I think that if we can start a special meeting at 5 or 5:30, I would recommend that we just don't do continuances on that day, but if there was new hearings, we do the new hearings, just so that way we don't have to go through the waiver process, so that whatever date we decide on, we'll push the public hearings, 30 minutes or an hour, push them to 6:30 or 7 to give us a little bit more time, but not approve continuations for that day. And if they can pick a date sooner than later, then we can kind of just note that on our schedule of special meeting on this day, new hearing. Yeah.
I mean, can I make a suggestion? I mean, I wasn't here.
Make a lot of suggestions. Did you read the initial memo?
Yeah, I at one point read it, I
Okay.
couldn't find it, if you can resend it.
It's in the last detailed. So if you want to, I can pull it up.
At the end.
But, okay, I'm a little wary of all of this, and, I mean, this is a committee of homeowners, of private people. And what they basically want to do is, they want to be trained as an alternative conservation committee. And I also like alternative, what do you call it, electors.
Right.
And I'm wary of that. We are the conservation committee. We have our disturbance bylaws. We have the wetland laws. And we interpret them and act on that. I'm just wondering whether, I mean, it's okay to talk to them, but they want more, right? They want to have a position where they can constantly challenge the committee. So, yeah, it's okay to have these communications, but to have training, and what exactly does that mean? I think you give too much. I wouldn't send out the letter, because it's not their place to somehow have an alternative conservation committee. That seems to be what they want. And they are happy. I mean, they're happy to volunteer for this committee. But, I mean, I don't... So I'm a little wary of giving up the mandate that we have, and kind of... Because that's what they seem to want, right? I mean, they seem to be annoyed, and I can understand this annoyance, that they have to worry about how long the deck will be, etc., etc. But I don't know. I mean, am I talking off my head? I mean, that's. I mean, I know we are in a democracy and have to somehow respond to that. But we are also in a representative democracy.
I think you're on the mark, but I also think that there's some ways for us to work within what they're talking about here, because the biggest thing is, let's take the Iwaniki. We're not discussing this project, but in general, like when we're talking about adding the stairs, that's a change. We add stairs. Somebody is coming down 2 weeks later and wants to file a project, and there's no wall, there's no stairs, and there's no consistency, in their eyes. And so that's where, where are the offsets? What are the mitigation? What is being brought to the table to mitigate what is being asked of us? And that is consistently the challenge that I see with these projects is everybody wants, but nobody wants to give, right? And I don't expect in any good negotiation, you don't play your best hand right out the gate. But a lot of the times people come to us and they don't have anything in their back pocket that they have worked through as a, and this is my mitigation for this. It's like, I want a deck that's going to encroach on the lake. Okay. I'm not, everybody knows, I'm not completely closed off to that. If you want to give me something that is going to help protect the wetland even better than the current state of affairs on the ground. But that requires inconsistency in action, right? That's why this is the deliberative board. And I think Ed made just a spectacular point when we were talking with, was it Ron or Robert or whatever, the Bala guy.
Mark.
Like, this is deliberative board.
Right.
And when his file came in front of us, the only person on that board at that time, and that was only 8 years ago, was Ed, because I came on 7 years ago, right? So it's a completely different personality, and so if you're looking for consistency and clarity, well, if you could tell us that we're going to have the same 5 of us on this board for the next 40 years, and that we aren't going to have any changes of opinions, then we could probably give you that. But it's not really reasonable. So that's part of the challenge of this. But having an open dialogue, I think, is an excellent thing.
No, that's fine, that's fine. I wouldn't go so far and suggest training of anybody. Because, then we commit ourselves to...
You're going back through their initial letter.
Yeah, I
Talking
would-
about consistency and clarity. A lot of this also goes back to read the regulations, because it does say mitigation requirements if you're requesting waivers and things like that. And that's going to be site specific, so that's a tough.
in
When you're
some-
talking with education and training,
Look, in some
we
sense...
can help point you and say, hey, go check out these websites, go attend this event. Anyone can go to the MICC conference.
But aren't you doing, to be very honest, when do people do it? People only do it when they have a project. Who cares about these things at all? But, so I'm just wondering, you already, it seems to me, explain it to them when they come to you. And I'm not so sure that we should commit ourselves to a kind of official training process, which they determine who will be trained. We can't do that. And that's not part of our mandate. I think we have to be much more determined in terms of, look, we have agents, and you explain the process to them. And by the way, Glenn should know. They pushed the limit, obviously. They know exactly. Right, so-
Everyone that comes in with an expanded use of the property. Every single one. They don't come in with exactly the same or smaller.
I understand. So, but
That's, in the art of negotiation, like Eric said, is, that's what they're there for. But that's when you, as a board, are weak, because you're a democracy. And if a democracy always, everybody's, giving their little bit, and the next, we have to come up with a solution, and that's what we do. So education of the populace is always good.
right, but be careful what you promise here.
We can't.
We can have dialogue. That's fine.
Yeah.
We can have, but we can't have formal training sessions. That
Yeah, we
seems-
can. We can have formal training sessions. We can teach them what the bylaws are.
Who's doing that?
What?
Who's doing formal teaching
Right.
sessions?
That
Well,
does,
evenings. What do you do in evenings?
Their salary's going up.
Yeah, where's this money coming from?
No, I'm
look,
just saying.
seriously,
It isn't a question of who does it.
We've already been doing, we've done 2, we're about to do 3 of the educational things. These take a lot of time that we're doing, and they're available to everyone, and,
Right.
we're trying to get the word out. The next one we're doing, we're trying to focus it on the lakes, but they do take up a lot of our resources, but we also understand how important public education is, and we can,
Do you disagree
update
with your
information,
memo?
point out things. What's that?
Do you disagree with your memo?
I think in my memo, I'm kind of just saying, hey, give us a little bit more specific things of what you're looking for.
I actually think you should say we already run some education programs.
Yeah.
And
think we
you're
did.
more than
Yeah. And
you're-
at the bottom of the page, conservation staff has already been working towards increasing public outreach and education, including informational sessions and improving resources available on the website.
I would leave it at that.
Okay.
I wouldn't give more training sessions and everybody comes and so say regarding building public confidence, we're already doing that.
Yeah.
And so if they want more, let them ask for more, but I don't think we should be in the business of burden the board.
I mean, I can kind of say, like, if they're specific, like I said in the second, regarding point 2, we recognize the importance of transparency, community trust. The commission already issues an annual report and posts all the meetings and minutes and decisions publicly. If there are any specific types of updates, reports, or communications Slack would like to see beyond what is currently provided, we welcome those suggestions. In addition to paper references and training and promoting consistency, we ask for clarification as to whether training is envisioned intended for homeowners, so we can kind of figure out, like, what are they looking for? Because I can forward emails. I get emails all the time of training opportunities. If they just want me to forward those emails, I'll do that every time, like if I forward them to you
could do
guys.
that, or they could just join the new Facebook page, Sturbridge Conservation,
Yeah.
and they would be able to get
There you
that, get access to that information.
Yep.
Right? There's a little advertisement.
So
So you're saying chop this
It sounded to
down.
me as if you.
Chop this down, make it simple.
Yeah, well, I
say we
yeah, and
acknowledge, we
don't-
understand.
Don't ask them what they want
Yeah.
more. I think that's just.
So how do you feel, I mean, you weren't at the last meeting, so how do you feel about the meeting in the spring? We would have bullet items. It wouldn't just be, come here and air your grievances. We would say, we're gonna talk about these things specifically, whether it's chemicals in the lake or, fertilizers, whatever it is, like, we will find, like, pinpoint specific topics, because otherwise, it's just gonna be a mess.
Right.
But,
I'm willing to sacrifice an hour and a half of a mess, if that's what it comes to learn. Right? Because the simple fact of the matter is, there is a legitimate concern around these things. I think it goes both ways. But, the simple, if we offer and extend the olive branch to come in, and if it devolves into chaos, well, we've kind of limited it to 90 minutes, and, we all,
90 minutes?
and then we move on with our days, but,
we can even run it like town meeting. We'll go borrow the stoplight.
yeah. You know what? There we go.
It's actually not a bad idea.
She does an excellent
The
job.
more time to give people to complain, the more they will complain. And so it's kind of a,
But sometimes that's also
it's a
cathartic.
feedback
Encourage them to
loop.
ask questions, though. I think it's really
Okay.
important, because not enough people come in and ask us questions. It's so rare, Karsten, so
I
rare.
know.
Yeah.
People do come in and complain now.
Yeah,
They do.
I want that education. I want them to ask us questions. Like, they're scared to.
I think the seeking for education should come from them. So like the forwarding, I think would be like great in the Facebook page or like as an email list
Whatever
or
we
something like
get.
that. Maybe that the whole community could register to an email list or something like that. But not coming from Conservation Commission. I think there is, with all the projects that we have, there is no time for that.
You only get two
and-
sides. If you put conservation on Facebook, first of all, you're gonna get every town in,
We are on Facebook.
yeah, but I mean, if you start putting out.
Yeah, we limit.
What?
It's very, it's going to be very limited. It's not meant for conversation.
But you're going to include other people from other towns, and they have preconceived notions, and they have venom as to what they want.
But like what I'm meaning
Yeah.
with that is like forwarding the multiple courses that Lauren like send us all the
Yeah.
time, not only from the conservation side of Conservation Commissions,
Yeah.
but also like Mass Audubon. They have a lot of those, so they can
Yeah.
get
In Last Green Valley.
more
too.
knowledge for that. But the other thing is about this meeting. I think we should have an agenda. What are
Yes.
the two
I
or
w-
three topics
and
that
I
they
think
want
that,
to
yep,
discuss?
They propose ideas of here's specific things we want to talk about. We take a look at it and say, this can be a memo, or this can be, we can forward you information, but yes, we agree that this is a valuable topic that we should have an open discussion on. Like, I think the agenda items need to be agreed upon by both Conservation and Slack, so everyone goes in there, and even before the meeting,
Yeah.
have your bullet points ready, have your talking points ready, so that way we can kind of like actually be productive. My slight concern too is the chain of communication. Slack is made up of representatives from all of the lakes. However, from my experience, are those representatives from each lake talking to their lakes? Because you look at Slack and then you look at Bala and they're like this right now,
Yeah.
even though those two people live on the same lake. So it's like, I want to make sure, like, is this representing the 12 people that are on this committee? Is this representing lake communities? Because if it's a conversation that we're having just for 12 people with 12 people, it's not as beneficial as if we're really getting a message and saying, hey, lake residents, we're talking about you. Like, let's
Yeah, we
chat.
have like to be sure that it represents all the lakes, because otherwise we are going to have a special meeting with every single lake.
Right.
Well, the other thing we have to do is discern whether they really care
I
about the
think it's
lakes
a
or not in
bottomless
each
pit.
individual case.
So
I'll send them a personality screening test, and I'll send them like a personality screening test, and it'll be all like psychological testing, and be like, oh!
because the first
No, I agree, and I get where you're coming from too, because it's,
Really,
yep,
The letter
we care
was
about
actually
it,
much
but let's
nicer.
pump it with chemicals.
But
As I've said to you, I get stopped in the grocery store mostly by little old ladies, mostly. And most of them live on Big Alum. And why they're in Shaw's and coming from Big Alum, I don't know. Probably a low price or something like that. But
Coupons.
they have basic, and they're not what we're hearing. They want us to stop poisoning the lake with fertilizers, pesticides, and they're not hearing that from when they go to the meetings. When they go to the meetings, the residents are saying, we need the right to do that. I mean, that's a pretty amazing difference.
Yeah.
You know, so, and we have it on that you're not supposed to do it, and we put it on everybody's, work, but.
And the lake associations are not under the town, like, we don't
Right,
monitor them. Slack is a committee that's organized under the town, and I'm the staff liaison for that committee. The lake associations individually, they're just organizations, some of them are nonprofits. I don't even know how to get in touch with half of them because the information's outdated.
Yeah.
So
so Slack is a town committee?
it is a town committee.
Are they responsible for the reading and poison?
No.
So-
However,
So why are
They-
you talking to them if they're
they
not
do
responsible?
get $20,000 of betterment funds from town meeting that is used for the boating safety class, and then the rest of that money gets divvied up by the lakes that do vegetation management. So they're the ones that ask for money from the town, from the taxpayers, to pay towards the vegetation management program. So kind of, a little bit, there's crossover.
Yeah.
But when they come here, in terms of applying,
We want to make sure that they're communicating with their lakes, that they're going to
Right.
be here.
so they are not applying for any permits here.
Correct. Slack itself does not apply for lakes.
So
And
no-
the Slack is not necessarily made up of the chair of each lake association either.
So the first guy who was here, was he from Slack or was he?
He was from Bala, Big Alum Lake Association, so he's the chair of Bala.
Okay, and the latter, and
Mark
Bella
Smith.
is what?
Bala's Big Alum Lake
So
Association.
he was a private.
Chuck is the chair of Slack.
And he wrote
He
the
used to
letter.
be, he used to have Mark's
So
position.
who wrote the letter that we
Who
got?
wrote this one?
The letter came from Slack.
Okay.
Okay,
From the
so-
committee. They wrote the letter, the position paper.
Is-
They-
is
I
that
think they're
re-
working on another position
Is that
paper.
related to the Bella guy who was here?
Not really.
So is there a movement? I mean, so, okay.
I've been having separate conversations with Mark with Bala and Bala's Environmental.
He's not in town, though. He's out.
Okay, so this is
Right now.
so,
Mark's in India right now.
so this is completely independent.
This letter, this position paper was generated from Slack that makes up of representatives from each lake association, but it is not necessarily the chair of each lake association.
So-
But there's supposed to be two people from every lake association on Slack.
So I have a problem then, what is their, I mean, I don't fully understand what their problem is. And they should become a bit more concrete there, but.
Yeah.
Well, they want better quality of water in the lake. I mean, that's,
So what?
Some
do
of the complaints that I've received is that and I've tried to communicate this as best as I can, but unfortunately, as you all know, every single project is different. So, one big complaint that we get from the lake associations is that decisions are inconsistent.
Which
As we approve
decisions?
here and approve here. But I've also tried, say it's a bank disturbance or cantilever docks or something like that, that this one said no, this one said yes, this one got big, this one got small. And the way that I've tried to communicate that is, one, you've had a change in people. Two, the regulations are what they are, but also every project's different, every site is different. And sometimes the commission makes decisions and says, you know, if this is a project, it won't have as big of an impact. But then when everybody is doing it, you start to see the cumulative impact, and we learn, sometimes we learn from mistakes, sometimes we learn from new science that we were approving something, and then we're like, oh wait, it turns out this thing is really bad for the environment, let's not approve that anymore. So it's really hard to be consistent when the density is always changing, the science is always changing, regulations sometimes change, so it's, and every site is different, your topography is gonna be different, your, you know,
And
we can't, it's not cookie cutter, this isn't,
and the real
a board
problem
that it's
is
like that.
basically we could disapprove all projects that they want.
what?
yeah.
We basically could disapprove any
Well,
project
you know,
that they want.
I was thinking, and this is, we had a site before us tonight with a very large building going in on a very small road, okay? And on that road, there are 50 people who drive back and forth on that little road, that little private road, every day. And if you put this very large building on that little small road that those people have to go by, they're going to say, what the, with the Conservation Commission? I cannot believe they allowed that to happen.
I'm actually surprised that none of the abutters have reached out.
No, none. Not even the
I'm
one we
surprised.
talked to today.
I know.
No
I mean, it's
comment
the
at all.
house, I mean.
And I
doesn't
even
seem to
called
be-
someone that Heather had made a comment on I don't want to talk about that site specific since we're not on that agenda
Yeah.
item anymore, but
Yeah.
so I'll just kind of say it more generally, but I had a recommendation from DPW that for, you know, certain projects, like we try to, if there's a road association, reaching out to the road association to see if they have a stance on a project too, because there are some formal road associations, and I didn't get any contact back, which was sometimes a little disappointing. but-
The other thing, we've seen it with Slack. They've now disappeared for the winter.
Yeah.
Period.
And then they'll meet back up
We
again
can talk
in the
about them
summer.
every meeting we want to, but they're not going to
They're
be
actually,
around.
they met tonight.
Or did they,
Yeah.
you know, they're basically,
Yeah.
you know,
Is it possible to request someone from, like, if like Slack wants to be like more involved and learn more, request that at least one person
Nobody
from
wants to
Slack-
be on conservation from,
Well,
no,
but then
I've
no one
tried
wants
and I've
to do
asked.
it, but then like they all want
Can you
to
go a little
ask,
bit up
so
with the-
maybe like they
do you
have
want?
to rotate one person per year.
Where do you want to go?
No, go up.
Go up?
we had a
Go
woman
down.
on conservation. Her name was Donna Grau, and she was a really good conservationist. And she rented a house on South Pond because of her financial situation and so forth. And she was up there, and somehow the trees got cut on the property that where she was renting the bottom floor on. And she went before the selectman and was fired.
What?
Telling you.
Is there a town, have you heard of a town in this state that everybody's like, they just love that Conservation Commission?
No.
I know I'm being ridiculous, but at the same
For
time, I'm being
the
serious.
years that I've been doing this and all of the networking events that I go to and conferences, it is a known thing that if you work in conservation, you are probably the least liked department
Sure.
in the town.
Okay.
And I'm fine with that. I'm not here to be liked.
Sometimes the police
You don't join
department
this
is
commission to get popular.
I mean, I've heard good things about North Haven. I've heard good things about Northampton because they like don't only care about their trees, but they're actively, I don't know, like putting out education.
Yeah.
Like there's trees that have like little QR codes, and it's like
They
the
allow
trees
a
are
lot of
singing, and you
resources.
can like learn all about the history of the trees.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Brookfield.
Yeah.
Brookfield, because there's no rules in Brookfield.
There's no rules.
No, you can file an RDA and build a 2,000 square foot industrial building 20 feet from a pond in Brookfield, and it's fine.
Because I feel like what's going on, almost like even tonight,
Yes.
and I'm not going to talk to, but like you could tell one of the people that were here, guy's very easygoing with us, right? But I felt like he was leaving not knowing if he was even going to get a chance in the next 2 meetings to get it through. And then he
Yeah.
was talking to he's talking to the,
We get that sometimes,
mayor-
and people leave this meeting, and then they call the next day and say, okay, I left that meeting and I'm confused. This person said this person said this. I don't know what to do. Guide
So-
me.
Yeah, and so with that, and I don't know the answer to this at all, but I feel like that's, to me, coming in, I feel like that's a lot of where, like, even these people are sending letters and everything else, a lot comes from that. A lot of angst in the community comes from, I'm just trying to do the best I can.
But that has to do with the fact that we
Yeah,
are.
that has nothing, and I'm not,
No, but it has to do with the fact that we are not allowed to talk about these things among
and that's what I'm
ourselves.
saying, there's
Right,
definitely.
because I actually think that what do you call it, the regulations that guide the discussion on this committee are kind of ridiculous, because we have these 5 minutes that we can discuss it among ourselves.
Sure.
And
I just think,
right?
Yeah,
And it would be nice to have some kind of,
I mean, you guys can also call me before meetings too, and you guys, without violating open meeting law, I mean, you guys can
Right.
call one-on-ones
I
and
think the
everything
open
too, but
meeting law needs to be changed. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
we'll move
I mean, can
forward.
we give this, like, say tonight, like, the person that was here, be like, whatever, we'll just say a patio instead of a deck, because not talking about anything that was here. It's got at a certain level. I mean, can we even say, I mean, like, I know what you're saying, Ed, like, we can't just say these numbers because it might not be what's going to pass. We can't just tell him something, hey, you do this and you come back and you don't pass, we're going to have much worse, people are going to hate us. But what can we do to kind of alleviate that confusion? I know I don't have any answer right now. I know I'm just saying thoughts out loud, but at the same time, I really feel like that's the core of everything, is that people are coming in here.
You know when this happens though, Nick? It's in and around projects that probably should not be in front of us.
Yeah, sure.
Right, and that's typically when it happens. The real questions come when people feel like, I don't want to move anymore, or I don't know where I can move, and we're just like, I don't know that you can move either, right? And so that's been a common theme over the years that I've noticed. It's like the really difficult projects are the ones that people get really, really confused around and are looking for guidance that we just can't provide. That's where, have something in your back pocket. Talk with the agent. What kind of additional mitigation can I give, as opposed to leading with what can I take? And that's and the simple fact of the matter is most of it is that what can I take? And and I know we all try to look at it through the prism of like, will the performance of this property improve before or after this, right? And that should always be the standard that we look through. But there's certain situations where if we say yes to this for what they're asking for, it's gonna be worse. So they have to come to us with some pretty aggressive mitigation strategies that people aren't going to like, because that costs money, that costs time, that you give back land, your vista isn't as pretty, things like that, and that's where it gets complicated, right? And that's the stuff that I don't know that we're ever going to be able to get around, because we're chartered with saying no to stuff.
And also, looking at you guys, you are all different people with different opinions, different values, different experiences too. So, I mean, it would be very, very odd if you all agreed on everything all the time with no discussion. Or if just like, if Ed was like, all right, this is what we're going to do, and you all were just like, yep, okay, sounds good. Like, that'd be weird.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
totally get you there, for sure.
But you're all applying your various backgrounds and experiences too. And, it's
But I think
things you've
if
seen. And personalities.
we are quite consistent when we say like every time there comes a project, we want like that shading of the lakes. So when you're like planting, like just put something on the lake. Don't remove all the trees like from the front of the lake, or like try to replant something on the lake. Or if you are going to be like we've seen projects where we have waivers to maybe do a little patio on the 25 foot, but it was including a remediation of a problem that was polluting the lake. So
And
there
when
is a,
I'm
like-
writing the order of conditions, and this was something that was not done previously, but when you guys approve a waiver, and you clearly state like why you're approving it or what mitigation was done, in the decision, I write, this waiver was approved or denied because of XYZ. I would love if my college professors had any interns, that we could have someone that like went through like old orders of conditions and maybe could kind of like design some type of matrix of like
Hey,
when we
We
approved
have
certain
artificial
things.
intelligence now.
Yes,
That is true.
All right, we're digressing now. Let's finish this thing up.
So we can and I do try to remember those things too in any decisions of trying to be like, okay, what's something similar that we approved and what was the outcome of it? Was it good? Was it bad? So just to kind of wrap this discussion up, is the overall, you're saying just shorten it a lot more? Okay.
And don't promise us more.
I didn't say anything. I liked it, you know.
Well, maybe I'll shorten it a little bit.
I read what they said to us, and I liked what they said to us.
I'll shorten it a little bit, maybe, and then I'll just send it to everyone, and then if everyone wants to respond individually, not a reply all, and just a thumbs up.
Consistency.
I like that
I
you're
would
asking
allow-
for more feedback
Yeah.
because it was very.
Yes, specifics.
Somebody else might.
Yes.
Where are we now? We're on
Okay.
Cutting the tree, but you
Agent
don't-
update.
correspondence. Now we're in agent update.
Why? Yeah, because I think.
So no new violations, enforcement, or
it mean?
complaints to report right now, just kind of like going back and touching up on things, because we've been,
Absolutely, that's. I look at the tree.
I mean, I
and
knock
say,
on
I
wood,
would
but
like
it's-
this.
we've had some time to kind of like go back and backtrack on things, so I'm kind of just going back on other projects, reaching out to homeowners that have had violations this year, and just kind of following up to where they are, making sure things are stable going into the winter. Conservation land updates, U.S. Fish and Wildlife just did their CR walk for lead mine, walking all the property bounds, and we walked the trails in that area. Overall, they were very pleased. So big improvement from last year. They liked, majority of all the trail improvements that we approved for lead mine, majority of them are done. And they were very pleased with how everything looks. There were 2 minor encroachment issues. One was just trees that were removed that were technically on ours, and then another one is a new development on lead mine that it's a new construction that the grading is like close to the borderline, but I talked to the homeowner and he's having a surveyor mark the boundaries so that way there's no issues down the road. Liz is going to be preparing a formal report, and I'll send that to everyone and to Trails. I have a meeting with Brandon on Monday just to kind of touch base with him, follow up on some things. The Plimpton master plan is underway too, so that's a great thing of just trying to go out, map all the trails, and actually set some good intentions for that project and or that property and get people excited about it again. And we're no longer in a drought, so yay!
That's good.
Which is all great news. And yeah, that's what I've got.
All right. So, got minutes to review? Special meeting minutes for, have we,
That was the 5 o'clock one.
I haven't looked at it. Anybody
Okay.
else?
The table.
Yeah, table that. How about October 9? I didn't look at any of the minutes, actually.
Okay, we'll table.
Yeah.
I'll make sure they're all posted again. Board liaison reports. I know there's not much. We have a update from Slack. CPC's meeting in December, right?
Yeah, no, nothing really to report
Okay.
there. The one, I'm trying to think. They wanted us to do some maintenance, and we wouldn't do it. We had a little bit of a debate over the, they brought They came to us to get money to cut down the trees in the,
I heard about that.
yeah, and it was decided by the committee that it was maintenance, and that we don't do maintenance. It's not in the rules of the money.
Mhm.
That's where we are. We'll see what happens. It's pretty close on that, I think, but
Yeah.
that's all I have.
Anyone else have anything from anything or anything relevant?
No, I'm got an email from Tim Harrington from Bala, like just like to meet for a coffee and discuss their position regarding the treatment of the leaks.
Okay.
So I will inform,
Yeah.
like, once we meet.
That'll be great.
I gave you my Bella list. You said you'd give it back to me?
Alice?
Yeah, at the last meeting, the list of officers.
I don't remember getting that from you.
Well, you did.
It was a piece of paper?
What?
It was a piece of paper?
Piece of paper, yeah.
We'll search. I don't remember getting anything.
I feel like that would have been important to remember.
I don't remember. I'll look in the meeting notes. Maybe if it did, maybe it's stacked with something. For as far as next meeting, December 11th, I don't know of anything coming to us. Possibly one septic replacement with some grading on Goodrich, but I don't know if that's going to be ready for next week or if that's going to be January.
What's
So we
this,
have some stuff coming back.
what's
that
this
we need.
71 mash pro?
71 Mashapog is on that agenda, and
That might be long wait.
that's the only continuation on that agenda.
Wow.
If site visits are needed, obviously next week is a short and funky week, and we wouldn't even be able to do it because application deadline is Monday and no one would have time to stake anything. So I'd probably just say the week of the meeting.
Okay.
I think
Depending on how
Mondays and
complicated it
Tuesdays.
is. What?
Yeah, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know of anything. The only thing that I know of that possibly is coming is that septic.
Yeah, which, yep.
And it's a funky septic because basically Goodrich was built on a wetland, so the water table is high.
Yeah.
So they have to bring in fill. So let's see, Mondays or Tuesdays? I like Tuesdays better personally, but
But being further, it's better to be further away from the meeting if we can. Monday would be further
what
away
reason?
than Tuesday. What?
why do you like it further from the meeting?
Just so that I have a chance to review whatever it is that's on the agenda.
What about December 2nd? Tuesday.
That's
Every week
fine.
before.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the week before.
Like pictures.
If they're needed, I'll keep everyone posted.
I wasn't saying we couldn't do it on another Tuesday either. I mean, it's just depends
Well, there's
on
not a
what
lot
it-
of Tuesdays.
What?
There's not a lot of Tuesdays.
Yeah, there is. Two of them.
Can't do it next Tuesday
Yeah.
because the application deadline is Monday, so no one would have time to go out and stake it and all of that stuff in a couple hours.
I can do Tuesday the 2nd.
Okay.
Let's do the second thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell Teddy his birthday doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, at a
What are,
certain
you,
point.
what are you gonna do from at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday?
Hey, look, you know, we have people telling us that they need a whole month in order to, bury
My
somebody.
birthday month?
Yeah. Christ. So the second it is.
Lauren, you just smiled like you're a birthday month person.
I'm a
you
birthday week person.
Okay.
She's already planning
all
for
right.
her 40th.
Yeah, I already have my 40th planned, and
We talked about that
that's
today.
2.5 years away.
The other thing you promised me was the name of the town that disbanded their.
So I know I'm trying to find evidence of it because even the person that
Lied to me?
no, I didn't. So So I attended a virtual session the other day, and the person that said it was one of the presenters.
Yeah.
And I asked a question in that seminar, and I said, hey, I was at the MACC conference the other week, and you said that there was a town that brought an amendment to town meeting of their wetland bylaw, and the town made a change on the floor to get rid of the whole thing. And I wrote down that it was Salisbury, but I've been looking up like crazy, and I can't find any evidence of it. And then he responded, answered my question, said, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Salisbury.
But he
I'll see if
doesn't
I
know
can
for
find
sure.
something.
Yeah. he's
So
full.
I might have to call them and see if it really was, because I did find like a news article about a big change, but I can't find an article saying like that they got rid of it. But he says it's Salisbury.
Yeah, well, when next time you talk to him, say, I said he's full of
Bologna?
baloney.
Is that bologna?
Macaroni.
Macaroni.
In my
right.
family, it's macaroni.
I have been trying to figure it out because I want to know, and I also want to know like what they brought forward to change that like triggered everyone so deeply that they decided to get rid of the whole wetland bylaw.
Yeah.
Wetland Protection Act still exists, so like
A lot of
didn't do
blazing
too much.
generalities out there.
Yeah. Anyone want to throw a party?
Should we have Carson do it?
Yeah, Carson.
Move to adjourn.
Okay, second?
All in favor? Let's go.
Okay, we can watch the American Revolution at 8.
The American Revolution.
Ken Burns. Ken Burns.